What's up, everybody? This is Robert, and you are listening to Dads in Real Life podcast. We are two dads, 10 years apart, talking all things fatherhood, from diapers to dream projects and everything in between. It is back to school week around here, and so in today's episode, we talk about wins, losses, and lessons. Both Rob and Travis share their first week experience back in the drop-off line.
I was against TK at first, so personally speaking, I was like, I don't want him sitting in a classroom setting forever and I don't want him.
This podcast is provided ad-free thanks to listener support. Go to patreon.com/dads in real life to help keep it independent and to get exclusive access to live streams, behind the scenes, and more content every month. Okay, and so full disclosure, Mo's sitting right behind the computer. And this is coming out of the speaker, no headphones.
I was just gonna say you don't have your headphones on today.
Because kids were a little bit earlier, right? Kids aren't home yet, so.
Hey-o. All right. So Mo is totally welcome to just spin around, fact check. Today we have our fact checker in the house.
Exactly.
And she's gonna jump in, push Rob to the side, and say he's absolutely
That was not true. That's not true.
Yeah. So welcome, folks.
Another episode.
Today is a day where we're going to talk a little bit about some lessons learned, some wins and losses of the newest season that many of you might have just entered into.
Yes, so, and I think is this the new season for you, Travis? Is this the whole going early, picking up that thing?
Yeah, well, it's always new when you have this many kids that are just diving in to the world, so every season is different. I would say it's a new season for me, but it's across the board. So it's not necessarily just what we're talking about today. But before we dive in,
yes,
the segment I have for today is,
I like Travis has like a Rolodex of segments. It should be one of those things where it's the pinwheel and you go. Today we talk about that. Maybe we'll get one of those.
I should start. Yeah, I've definitely seen. I worked at a spot and we had one of those little ones, and it would fit perfectly right next to the screen here.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
And I'll just start writing it with a marker instead.
Yeah, like whiteboard background, right? You just write in the topics.
Yeah, you need to give me a couple more morning showers and dishwashing sessions, and I'll be able to think up enough to fill the thing.
Gotcha.
So, some people have asked me, they're like, where do you think up all the topics and things? And I'm like, this is just where my brain goes. Now I'm just writing it down as opposed to losing it. So it's actually really great because I would never retain these thoughts before. And now they're being solidified.
Hey, look at this. Trust the process, right? Trust the process.
That's right. And so today, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a catchy name for this one. I didn't write it down.
Then
we're going to call this segment.
Just be transparent. What is it? What is it called? First two.
It's just a simple question, really. It's a simple question. And actually, you know what? You have a phone a friend. You have a phone a friend.
I do. I can phone a friend. She's right here.
So this is a tricky question. Maybe, but you have an answer to everything, Rob. So you're going to get it. You're going to get it. So here's the question I have for you. Can you think of an item in your house that has a home, quote unquote, but it's an odd place, but because it works and you know where it is, like something in your house that oh, I got to go get the blank. And it's not normal,
It's not. So everything, well, I wouldn't say everything. A majority of the stuff, I would like to say.
Besides the junk drawer.
Yeah, we all have multiple of that. It's different levels. But I would say most of our stuff has a home. And it's one of those things that we kind of hopefully lead by example, but it doesn't always get picked up. And the main reason for that is so that we minimize do you know where my blank is? Right? So if everything has a home, then you just backtrack to the home.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say weird stuff. I know I have, you know what? I don't have any weird stuff, but put this on camera. I've got this guy. So this guy sits on my desk
It's the
and
catch-all tray.
it's the catch-all tray, but it's like specific to the desk. So wallet, keys might go in there during the day, my watches, anything small that I want to retain where it's at, because that's usually what gets lost if you don't have a home.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, before I had this little catch-all tray, the number one question is, where's my wallet? Like, I don't know where I put. Is it still in my shorts? Did I put it on a dresser somewhere? So now having this is kind of where I look for it. But as far as, let's
Well,
see,
and you're not, and I'm not, and let me also clarify. This is perfect because, okay, you say everything has a home. So what is something, can you think of anything in your house that has a home that's just like a funny spot for it to be the home, but it is home? That's what I'm saying. It's like,
okay.
I reached for something the other day, and um I am just trying to stall here because I had the answer and I didn't write that one down.
It's okay.
But that's
I'll
what
pick
made
up.
me think of it, because I was like, "Oh, I need to go get the whatever." So, like, for I okay, so one example, and this one isn't weird enough, but, like, I'm like, "Oh, I need the lint roller." And,
Mhm.
like, I just know, like, for some reason, a long time ago, Deb made the home, like, my sock drawer. Like, so I just
The
know,
lint
like, if
roller's
we ever
in your
need a lint
sock
roller
drawer.
for anything, it's in my sock drawer.
It's a good
So,
place.
boom, easy. Like, I always know where that is, but there's something
Gotcha.
else, I'm gonna think of it
Well,
eventually here.
I'll jump in, you think of yourself. So, I wouldn't say odd objects, but, we're at the age where, like, stretching and, like, foam rolling should be daily, but it's more like weekly at best. And all that stuff is in what I would consider a laundry basket in one of our closets, one of our bedroom closets.
Yes.
So it's not in the garage where, like, our garage gym set up. It's not in a cubby specifically for mobility. It's in a laundry basket that is put in the corner in one of our bedrooms, and everyone knows where that's at. So if I'm, like, shouting from downstairs that I need, like, a lacrosse ball, all the kids know exactly to look in the closet
There you
for that,
go.
right? The one thing, besides that, we got a lot of littles and we clip a lot of nails, so all the kids know that the nail clipper is in the top drawer of dad's side of the bathroom. So that would be like the
Yes.
second thing. But
Yep.
that's the only two things that are kind of like out, that we actually, like, travel to go get stuff that isn't where you would find it typically, right? Like gym stuff in the gym, or, I don't know where toenail clippers would be,
That's
but
really funny that you mentioned the Clippers because that just poofed, like, a whole set of memories into my brain. Um, we have that drawer, and we
mhm,
know where the nail clippers are, and all of them live there. Like, we have, like, the
yeah,
little baby ones and the big ones. But growing up, we had the same thing. We always knew that over in mom and dad's bathroom in that one drawer,
top
that's where they
drawer,
were.
that's where it is. Yep.
So moral of the story is make sure you got a clipper drawer, clipper spot, and, nobody will ever ask you for where they are.
Clippers. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah, and, I got a spot for, we have, Deb buys a lot of extra Trader Joe's cards, so, so for if there's ever a
Like
chance,
gift
like,
cards
oh,
or like
no,
birthday
no, no,
cards.
like greeting cards,
Oh, I got,
like
the
like
blank one, like
she
the blank
stocks
one.
up. Yeah, yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
we got a couple blanks, we got some birthday ones, we got some wedding ones, we got some, so like, "Oh, you need a card, like,
Got it.
last minute?" Oh, so it's like, it's in this, like, the office basket that is in the 4th, cabinet over in our dining room on the bottom. It's
So
just like
so
boom.
have you ever given Deb a card that she bought for Stop?
Oh, yeah. No, no, I haven't done that. And see, I have
Surprise!
my
And
own
she's like,
stash. I have
"Hey,
my own
buddy,
secret stash that I
I
cannot
bought this."
divulge
Okay,
here.
you have your own secret stash. Do you
Yep.
remember where secret stashes are? Because I remember growing up, I would have secret stash of stuff, and I would forget where the stash was because it was so secretive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty set on that. I prioritize, high memory when it comes
Gotcha.
to the secret stash.
Plus, what helps is if you only have one stash location, like,
Yes.
like, this is where I put all the stuff, right?
Yep. Yep. And I also will never forget where my secret stash of
Don't say it here.
somebody's
Don't
coming
say it
in the
here.
front door and they're not supposed to either.
Yes,
So,
that's another secret
you guys
stash.
just remember that too, okay? Don't forget where that is. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
He's
So
talking about mistletoe, everyone. He's talking about mistletoe. Okay.
yep. Yep.
Now,
That's it. So, yeah. So wait, Rob, you thought up the topic today.
I
So
got
it's
the
only
topic of the
right
day.
that
So
you
usually
bring it up.
Travis usually had these topics, but we knew today was going to be kind of short, sweet, to the point as far as riffing. And it was a topic that was brought up with some friends outside of this podcast, other dads. And it's, how is your week one of school, right? We just came off a long summer vacation, depending where you are in the States or what kind of school district you go, either like all year round or you still have a longer break at some point. So how is that first week back? So depending on the season of life, it might be like your oldest is going into kindergarten, right? First time in grade school. Or I know there's a difference between kindergarten and first grade as far as how much time at school. And then there's the drop offs and the pickups and all the feelings of the first week of getting to know new kids. So I wanted to talk about this segment more specifically is, what are 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 lessons? So what are 2 wins for the last week that you've had? And I'll give you a second to think about it. 2 losses, and losses doesn't mean like we're playing NFL and it's boohoo, but like, man, I kind of dropped the ball on that a little bit,
Yeah.
right? And then 2 lessons, as in, hey, this is a reoccurring theme that seems to be sticking every year, or maybe it's a new lesson, that kind of the aha moment that you had, like, hey, we're going to try this out this season and see if this sticks. So, any ideas of the wins so far over the last 7 days?
Yeah. So, for context, for those who might be newer or don't remember,
Mm-hmm.
so we currently have now we have 2 kiddos in school. So last year was like big, like, whoa, okay, the oldest, he's going
Mm-hmm.
in, and he's going into TK. And like, what do we do? And how does this work? And how's it gonna be? And so many
Mm-hmm.
questions, right? And all those questions were answered, and we figured everything out. And so going into this this year, the middle child, she is starting TK, and now it was kind of great. So like I would say this isn't a personal win, but something that has been so awesome to see in this new school year is um the middle kiddo, she went in and she just like it was completely unfazed. She's like, yeah, I know, because she got to see big brother do it. So,
Mm-hmm.
she's seen um like, she knows the classroom. She actually knows the teacher already, that so it was she's been there, done that almost. So on her first day, I walked her through, and she's still, obviously like timid and a little
Yeah.
shy. Like, okay, there's a lot of people here. This is new. But she was so brave, like she just walked in there, and she was like, see you, dad. Bye. And
You
I was
can go
like,
now.
perfect. Yeah. Like, I mean, but it was so fun too. And she's like my feeler
Mm-hmm.
kiddo. So she just was like, give me a hug and a kiss, and okay. And then off I go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the win that I would say though is seeing the oldest, like, him be big brother to her.
Mm-hmm.
And literally every day, we've been in school now for 8 days or 7 days total. Right. And he has checked on her. They have the same recess time.
Oh,
So
nice.
he has checked on her, and the other day he was like, I checked on her every 2 minutes at recess to make sure she was okay
It
and
was
that she
okay.
was having fun. So like they're playing together a bunch. Like
That's awesome.
one of the aides that works there, she like, we've gotten to know her, and she is friends with one of my coworkers. And so she sent Deb a picture of the two of them
Oh, that's so
out on
cool.
the playground the other day, and it was just the sweetest thing. So I would say a win is just seeing my oldest like fill into the role of older brother and
Mm-hmm.
care
Especially
for his
outside of the
sister.
house, right? Like
Outside of the house,
outside of the home.
yes. Like, surrounded by all of his friends and his normal place,
Mm-hmm.
like, he's noticing those things for her, and then she is also, like, just being brave and going
Mm-hmm.
for it, and
Mm-hmm.
she's young. She's so much younger that, like, she just missed the cutoff by a week, so she turned 4,
So
and
she's
then
the
boom,
youngest in her
she's the
class,
youngest in her class. So and it's only because they just changed the requirements, like,
yeah.
for the state or whatever. So like she wouldn't normally have been in there, but now, hey, you can
Look at
do it a
her
little earlier.
go. Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah. So it's great. So like they're thriving in that. And for us specifically, I know some people have been worried about it. And I was feeling this worry in the sense, not worry, but like I was against TK at first, like, for then again, so personally speaking, I
Mhm.
was like, you know, like, I don't want him sitting in a classroom setting forever and like having, I don't want him coming home with any homework. Like, I
Mhm.
don't want any, like, this is not a time for that. Like, he just needs to play.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what he did. And
Yeah.
so I got to see that, and like I got to volunteer in his class and do a lot of that, and it was great. And so he thrived in it. And I know like the middle, she's like wired differently, but I think she's still going to have a ton of fun too. So it helps, you know, with like them getting to be more social with other kids, and
Mhm.
it's worked out really great for us. So yeah, as far as a loss, I would say is dialing in those pickups and drop off times.
Yeah, I was gonna that's
Hey,
definitely one of mine, so
you know, I was like, you know what, like we've done this over and over. Like, so there's to the extent like we knew exactly where to go, and they got maps and everything for like every
Mhm.
which line. There's like 3 different lines for different places, right? And so none of that was stressful at all. But I noticed like I totally, as I often do, got overconfident and was just like, I just have the baby at home. Like, this is easy. Like,
We
this
got
is
plenty
this
of
is what
time. Yeah.
so I didn't get there super late, but I was 2 cars from the last, like, the end of the line, late one of the days here. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna dial that back in
We're
a
gonna
little
fix
bit.
that.
And the
Yeah.
kids got in the car and they were like, there is nobody left in line, you know, like so, yeah, you got to hang out with all your friends till the
For
last
so
second.
long after school. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So, you
cool.
know, thankfully, no tears, no upset. So, like,
Yeah.
that is not really a huge loss, but just dialing that in,
Yeah.
figuring that out. Um, you know, it's coming with there's always some adaptation that needs to happen, right?
Of course.
So, yeah, so, like, now this year is a sweet spot because they're both on the same schedule, but then next year is just gonna be a cluster because, yeah, he's gonna have a full day, she's gonna have a part, like, half
Like a
day,
half day, yep.
and then I'm gonna have the baby at
Baby.
home. So, it's, yeah, it's just we'll figure that out when we get there. I'm not looking
Yeah.
that far ahead right now, I'm
No,
just
cross that bridge when you get there.
yeah.
There's no point of being anxious about something like a year out, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then you know, back to school. See, now I'm going to use this because
Go
I
for it.
can't think of too many things, but the one thing too holistically for us as a family in this
Mhm.
season is, you know, I took on a like an evening night kind of job.
Mhm.
It's flexible, so I'm like working different hours on the weekend and then later hours during the week.
Mhm.
And it's great. It's a perfect fit for us. It's super flexible. It's enjoyable. Like it checks every single box. But the one thing that we knew would be kind of an issue has become quite the issue in the sense of we just don't have a lot of time, like for us, like Deb and I, and then
As the
also for
adults, yeah.
like, for and also for friends, you know, like,
Mhm.
we have, like, our allotted, like, the both nights that I'm home during the week, like, those are times when one of us is out doing something, like, that
Mhm.
we're committed to. So then it's just, like, that's it. And so I have the flexibility, you know, at home with the baby and stuff right now, so there are those moments where I have, like, complete independence, right?
Mhm.
And if I'm, like, having a rough day, tired, like, I'm gonna get that kid in the zone, I'm gonna give her a snack, I'm gonna,
Mhm.
like, lay on the couch, and I'm just gonna, like just, like,
Zone out for a little
stop.
bit. Yep.
Yeah. Um, Deb does not have that, and
Mm.
so the crunch for us right now is, like, she is just literally going from the moment she wakes up to the
Mhm.
moment her head hits the pillow. And so on top of that, us not getting any of that time, it's like a serious that's like that is that she's feeling it right off the bat. And
Yeah.
because, you know, she's a teacher, and so it's like that's why I say back to school for us, like that's what hits the hardest is we go
Yeah.
from summers, we're here, we're
It's
home,
weighted differently,
we
yeah.
got time, and then boom, we don't have time. And
Mhm.
so we talked it through beforehand, and what we noticed was, like I say, adaptation. I
Mhm.
noticed that we like, we have to we have to readjust, like it's at first it was like, yes, let's like, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to hustle at work to, help us balance out the finances and whatnot and make
Mhm.
sure we're doing good there. And that is like, that's the most important thing in
That's
the
the priority
season.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And now the priority has shifted to like, yes, this is great. That is great. But also we gotta have a little time together. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
I'm gonna drop a shift. Like we're gonna do
Mhm.
that. And again, I'm super grateful that we have that opportunity and that I can do that. There is that
Yeah.
flexibility. That's why I took that job.
Position.
And
Yeah.
so great. So now it's just like a moment of like that in between of like
Yeah.
there's definitely I'm just saying this for everybody out there too. So like again, dads in real life, like
Mhm.
this is what's going on right in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And this is not everything's all sunshine and daisies, and sometimes it's hard. So you gotta stick together and you gotta figure out what the other person needs to
Yeah,
get through it,
and
right?
to your point, that's constant communication, right? If you guys were just two ships passing in the night, eventually one of those ships is going to hit land and sink and all that stuff. So the fact that you're like, hey, we're okay now, and now the priority is quality time. Like we still have a relationship, right? Like let's nurture that relationship, and then you choose, right? There's always a cost, but you start in different seasons. What costs more? Like what's a little bit heavier? So kudos to you guys talking it out and working on that change of schedule.
Yeah, so we're just I guess we're just like slogging through for the
Mhm.
next like week and then we'll
And then it
be
kicks in.
into that new yeah, it'll kick in and we can get back to some more of that time.
And I think that's
So,
a great universal lesson, right? Like, especially in this season, going back to school, it's all hands on deck per se, right? And
yeah.
it's a lot of stress, both in the emotional stress of the kids bringing that stuff home and us being parents, being present and dealing with that stressors, but then us too, because we were just, like you said with Deb, we were just all family all summer. And now it's like work week, right? Like we're all back to work hard. So I think the lesson is just keep that open communication and being transparent early on. Like, hey, I'm starting to feel it here. Like, I feel like I'm kind of soloing it a little bit. Can we like sit down and talk about it so that we can, oh, I didn't even know you felt that way. Like I've been like head down, pickups, drop offs, cooking, right? So that's I think a lesson we can all take back is like before you get into not a rough season, but a new season is to communicate, hey, we know it's going to be rough, but let's set out at the end of the first 2 weeks. Hey, we're gonna have a sit down and kind of assess the land. Like, hey, are we still good with this? Is there something we need to change? And if change needs to be done, we're both on the same page. Versus, okay, something needs to change, and you don't tell your spouse, and you're like, I just took on a third job to pay for the trip, and you're like, what just happened? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what happened, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think if do you have anything else as far as
Let's see. You said 2 wins, 2 losses, and what was the other part?
the lesson? I thought that was like a good lesson.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
lesson
So
learned.
so, yep, for sure. That's the lesson. The other win I'll say is,
Yeah.
again, like, for, all the dads out there listening that are, like, you feel maybe you feel I wanna point this out to the guys that feel like, literally, I can never get into a rhythm. It's like, you
And right
you
when you
kinda
think you are,
start.
it changes, right? You're like,
Yep.
ah,
As a dad, you keep thinking like, "Oh, we'll just find our stride and then we'll be there,
we'll
and then we'll
find a
just do
way.
that thing." Like, yes, you find your stride in adapting and overcoming. I feel like that's what it is really. And I mean, I don't wanna make it sound like it's all bad either, like some of that's enjoyable, like, and
No.
you find your stride in that.
Mhm.
But, um, it's not, oh, I lost the thought. I lost exactly where I was going with that. The other win
You
for
caught it.
me
Yes.
was caught it. Um, for us, like, okay, boom, now we have 2 kids in school and the baby's home. Great. Okay. And the lucky bit of this is the baby is not like almost out, not a baby anymore. So now we're down to
Ah,
one nap. And that
gotcha.
nap lines up with the other kids like quiet time. Therefore, the win in this season is
That's
like,
huge.
yo, I got all the time now. Not all the time, but like it feels like it. Freedom in
I
the
like how
mornings.
dads say that, right? I got 15 minutes. Yes.
Yes. I
Yeah.
I can go and run errands, and that's, like,
Perfect.
way easier. With 1
Mhm.
kid, compared to 3, like, it's cake. It's cake. So we're just jamming on like running and getting some things done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to balance like just soaking up, like, because not everybody has the chance to just be home
Yeah.
with the baby. And
Mhm.
this is the third kid, right? So I'm soaking up like all that baby time
Yep.
hardcore.
I
So
was the same way. I was the
it's the
same way.
snuggles are great, the, like, playing is fun, but
Mhm.
then also balancing out, like, what can I get done so that it's not has doesn't have to be done later?
Exactly.
Um, so that's the other win. So,
Awesome.
I don't know if I have another loss, but I would say those are the things that come to mind, and now it's your
That's perfect.
turn.
My turn. So wins. There's two wins in this season. First off, our youngest is now in first, right? So she went from the half day to the full day,
There we
and
go.
she's in school with the middle child. And it's kind of a two-sided one. One is like her personality. She's super brave, right? And so it was different with her first and second. Like I had to sit in the class for like the first week a little bit, but our third, like she's been to that campus since the oldest was there, as me holding her doing drop-offs to now
Yeah.
she's on the big kid campus. And the coolest thing is like she just says bye, gives us hugs and kisses, grabs her sister's hand, and she's taken ownership of school. Like this is my school, this is my class. So when they had the open house, this is where I sit, right? Whereas the older two kids at that age was like, I don't even want to go to open house, I don't want to go to school. So it's cool to see her kind of come into her own. And Travis knows the little one, and it's kind of right up her alley as far as like boss baby. She's like, this is my spot. So that's one part of the win. The second part of the win is seeing my middle child act as the big sister, because at home there is the big sister, right? We have a middle schooler, she's big sister. But
Yeah.
on this campus, she's big sister in two ways. One, she makes sure that she walks her to class, but two, she's at the end of her elementary school season. So she's the big sister on campus. So it's
Yeah.
been cool to see them kind of fill into the shoes that I think they were kind of prepared for. So that's one win. Second win is for my middle schooler. They have a program, and this is the reason I say this is win. It's because it challenges her a lot. She's the heart. She's like her mom. She feels everything. She gets nervous in large crowds, that kind of stuff. But there's a program where they welcome new sixth graders. And it's a program that you have to interview for and you have to apply for. So there's a written part and an interview part, right? And this is
Oh,
like in
wow.
middle school. And if you get in, then during like first day orientation for sixth graders, you're the one that shows them the ropes. Like, hey, this is the cafeteria, this. And the reason it was win is one, she got into the program. Two, going to sixth grade was very challenging for her. New campus, new kids, all that stuff, which was overwhelming for her. To see that come full circle where now she's the one helping sixth graders, and part of her application, she shared like, hey, this was really challenging for me. So if I get the opportunity to help out, this is what I would have done for me at this time. And I think that's what kind of solidified her spot, is because it was such a challenge for her. And now she knows like, okay, I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know there's kids coming in. And I think she had a group of like 15 that she was in charge of, which that's another thing. Being able to manage 15 sixth graders during orientation was huge. So those are
Yeah.
my two wins in the week. Losses or lessons/losses, pickup line, drop off line. Drop off's not too bad. Pickups, and the funny thing is, I've been doing this for years, right? But you always underestimate the time it's going to take. So besides being like you said, the second to the last car, where if you're not there, they take all the kids to the office and like call you to come pick them up.
Yeah.
But the way the plans worked around their school, traffic is really bad. And so
Yes.
I would say at least on two occasions over the last week, I've had to park 20 minutes by walk away from campus, but I didn't allocate 20 minutes to walk by that time the bell rang. So, needless to say, I show up fully drenched in sweat because I'm sprinting like an 8-minute mile trying to get there. So a couple things note. Yeah, I got to put more of a buffer time, which we have the capability of doing, but we're like, we're a seasoned dad. How hard can pickup lines be? But I don't want to drive around, open the door to pick up. I want to be there because we still have like a first grader. So I think
Yeah.
the seasons, ones they change, yeah, like when we pick up our middle schooler, yeah, it's the A team, the door to the van, it's still rolling, jump in, right?
Yeah.
But in this season with the little one, I still want to be there. So I'm going to give it a little bit of buffer. And as far as lessons learned in this season, especially going back to school, is to give both ourselves more grace and the kids a little bit more slack, right? For all the feels that are coming in. And that's been a positive thing every season, kind of going back to school, is knowing that, hey, maybe today's not the day to talk about scheduling homework for the week, right? Like, hey, you know what? We're just going to sit on the couch and veg out to K-pop Demon Hunters for like 30 minutes before we even start anything, right? So knowing that. And then my next lesson, and this is for all the dads in different seasons, is we forget that summers are hard just because we're in this focal transition point. And it's easy just to pick up the next challenge. Okay, we're back to school, right? Deb's back to school working. So one of the things that we started doing is we celebrate this time. And we kind of talked about it last time, like, hey, what are you celebrating in August? So we have a date night scheduled up. We're going to go out to some sushi, which Mo likes and I like. And so it's one of those things that we can take the time to, recollect like how the summer went and all of our wins and what things went well, what things we want to change for next summer, but to not keep going. And we've talked about this about personal development, where you kind of get on the next rung of the ladder of like, okay, what can I accomplish next? Where you don't take time to celebrate. And as parents and as partners raising kids, I think we don't spend enough time celebrating the fact that, hey, they're still eating food and sleeping well and we're doing okay. So I think the lesson is to, celebrate these seasonal changes with something. It doesn't need to be a sushi night. It could be literally the kids go down, we fold laundry together, and it's just quiet. And so not to just go on to the next parental task, but to look back and celebrate, hey, we're doing okay. Like, this may not be textbook, but we still like each other and we still can do drop-offs on time. So.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love all of that. And if you guys haven't listened to the celebration episode, go back, find it.
Yeah.
And if you can't find it, that just means you have to listen to all of them. So
All of
just
them.
go
Yeah.
for it.
Travis has a busy August. Busy
Yeah,
August.
except for the first one. Apparently, they say that one's, that was just us brainstorming. So you can skip the first one.
Funny thing is, our first one, based on Spotify rankings, is the one that's mostly listened to.
Oh, shoot. Well,
Go figure.
then, yeah. And then we lost them.
And then everyone's like, you know what? Nah, it's okay.
Yeah, all good, all good. And I digress. Yeah, it's so hard to do that, to slow down, especially when you're ramping up into a new chapter, a new season or whatever. To just go, 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 go. And so that's great. I think we were talking about this just yesterday. My wife was listening to another I guess you could say influencer, somebody in the
Wait
socials,
a second.
right?
She listens to another influencer podcast and not just us.
I know. Can you believe it?
I'm
Yeah.
watching you. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Deb.
We do too.
Yeah.
Oh, name drop. Okay. Actually, we've been calling her Deb the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. We know. We all know her name. So
So she was listening to someone else.
someone else who had a great note about making sure that you remember that Thursdays are the kids have been in school for 4 days, and Thursday night, like, they're tired,
It's the
and
new
they don't
Friday.
want to go, yeah, they don't wanna go to work either, basically, like, so, like, just, I guess they make, like, comfort food that night all the time, or they do easy. They just, like,
Yeah.
they do
That's
easy,
what we do.
and
Easy
they kick
Thursday.
back, yeah, like, the grace thing, man, I love that because it's so easy to get all, just,
Yeah, we're not
crazy in your
going to
head.
schedule. Yeah.
And you're bringing that pressure and that,
Yeah.
disruption into
Top
their
down.
lives, they already got the things that they're thinking about, like, don't make it worse. You can just, loose hands, loose
I
hands.
like it. Loose hands.
So, I'm taking that as a reminder, because yeah, that's definitely required as you go back to school for your
Yeah.
kids and for yourself.
Yes. Yes.
So that's great. What else you got? Anything else?
Nope. Those were the main wins. Losses is mainly pickup. I think
Yeah.
we've been doing good with everything else. And yeah, no, I think the lessons that we share are good enough as far
Yep.
as like top of mind. Another thing is like, don't try to do too much at this period of time, right? As far as planning or scheduling stuff. Instead, the loose hands analogy, kind of go with the flow. During the first kind of 2 to 3 weeks back at school, we minimize any extracurriculars just because finding the new rhythm is enough, right? And I think for us as parents and as spouses, like understanding where that enough line is versus
Yeah.
like, oh, we can do more. We have an extra 15 minutes, extra an hour here. Hey, and I tell my kids, like, Dad, I'm so bored. Awesome. Like, it's
That's
good to
good.
be bored, right? Because there are going to be important times where we have to buckle down, we have to double down on it. And so, in this time, enjoy that book, enjoy the stroll or the coffee check in, enjoy folding laundry a little slower with your spouse, enjoy dinner, like actually sit down and chew your food and have a conversation with your kids. So, yeah, that I think those are kind of the things that I'd love for everyone listening to kind of take part in this week, right? So if you're kind of all over the place, sometimes for the nervous system, it's good to focus on one thing. So focus on one thing this week. If it's like pausing at dinner time, like, hey, no tech, we're not going to go back on tech. We're just going to eat and I'm going to dictate like the sharing. Like, what's the best thing that happened in school today? Or what's one kid's name that you didn't know last week? Right. And start that conversation with your kids and be involved in that aspect because it's already overwhelming for them starting back. And to know that, hey, I'm walking it with you, right? I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but yeah, that's awesome, or that kind of sucks. Hopefully tomorrow's better.
Yep. And at this point, pause the episode and hit the 10 seconds back like 5 times and listen to that again.
Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Repeat, repeat, and grace. More grace.
More grace.
Chill. Cool as a
Yes.
cucumber, and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, as we always say, we're not professionals.
No, we're not gurus.
We're
We're
just
just two
two
dads,
dads in real life.
real life.